All right, Haymarket riot. So Haymarket isn't actually a strike. What happens is there had been a strike in Chicago earlier, and a handful of the strikers were killed. So this is a memorial that happens at Haymarket, kind of like a public park. Memorials happen at Haymarket to honor those fallen strikers. And crowds have gathered, which is completely within our constitutional right to peaceably assemble. And the powers that be, government officials, come in and start moving the crowd out. When that happens, a bomb detonates, and about a dozen people are killed. Of those that are killed, a majority of them are police officers. And so, in large part, because they are the ones that are in the highest numbers, there is more investigations into who detonated this bomb. Now, remember, it's the end of the 1880s. There's not like, CSI kind of scientific stuff going on to figure out who could have detonated this bomb. So the key takeaway with Haymarket is who gets targeted, and the law enforcement will go after immigrants, and they will go after those people that are practicing any kind of political ideas that aren't capitalism and democracy. So anybody that identifies as a socialist, as a communist, as an anarchist, they're going to be targeted. And in fact, most of the people that are arrested fall into that category. They ultimately charge a handful of men with this crime, even though there's really zero evidence to connect them with this crime, and ultimately 4 of them are hanged. And the back of your outline, you've got a document by Albert Parsons where he calls out the hypocrisy of this, and notes that they were within their rights to have this assembly, that there's no way that we could know who had detonated this bomb. He says 6 of the condemned men were not even present at the meeting when this happened. The key part that I like here that he says is that was that meeting thus assembled a lawful constitutional gathering of citizens? The police, the grand jury, the verdict, and the monopolists all reply it was not. Right, and that's what he is challenging, is this idea that it was completely lawful. He says, it is lawful. Is it lawful, he questions, and constitutional to put innocent men to death? So again, really calling out the contradictions of our ideas of government, and the using it seems so contradictory, right? That we're justifying, that we're going against people who are challenging the government with our own government, that it should allow that freedom of expression, freedom of ideas. Again, the key takeaway is the people who were executed for this. There's really no evidence that can connect them to it, except that they had these political beliefs and they were immigrants. And we'll see increasingly, we've already started to see anti-immigrant ideas against the Chinese with that Chinese Exclusion Act, and we're going to increasingly see that happening as we keep moving forward. So, Haymarket riot. Key takeaways is how they target immigrants and people whose political ideas are outside